Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. I hope your day and overall week has been going great so far, and I hope you guys are staying safe and taking extra precautions, such as wearing masks. Pardon me if I sound a little bit under the weather, but I just got done doing an intense dance session slash practice for about an hour, and so I just got done eating a little bit of avocado with crackers and lots of water because I sweated a lot. But this one will actually not be a shit vision. I'm actually quite fit. Shit fichan. I keep mispronouncing that. Excuse me. But I came across another interesting crossover. It is one chapter, and I'm just gonna go ahead and read it because I actually like. The crossover is Mortal Kombat and The Lion King. I actually really love Mortal Kombat, and that reminds me I have to draw more of the characters. So, this one is called Just One Chance by NoRatCat. After his death, Scar is condemned to a fiery realm. While stewing here, a chance meeting with a fallen god will spur him to continue on. This was made on August 4th, 2019, and as I mentioned, one chapter. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and read through this. Scar had recounted his last moments for what he had guessed been for days. At least that's what it felt like. Honestly, it could have been longer. Time seemed different in his new home. Really, all he could do was recount how he had lost it all. He still remembered the pain as the hyenas ripped through his flesh. It was all their fault, really. If only they had followed through with their job. But of course they failed, and Simba's return only served as the end of his reign. When everything had gone black, he had awoken in this realm. It was far different than the Pride Lands. Foremost, everything was a hellscape of fire and brimstone. A strange murky sky hung above, not a single star in the sky. The inhabitants of this realm were what could only be described as demonic. Strange beasts roamed. The moment he had set foot, these creatures had accosted him. He of course had fought back, though he need worry about protection, for something had occurred to him the moment he came to be here. That was in regards to his form. He still held the form and shape of a lion, but his overall form was like a living embodiment of flame. His eyes were no longer a shade of green, but now wooey glowing and white. All in all, he couldn't stop thinking about how he had lost everything. All he wanted was revenge, the desire of taking back the Pride Lands, ending Simba's life, snuffing out Mufasa's bloodline. So lost in his thoughts was he didn't hear the footsteps. "Here it is, my lord." Scar looked up at the sound of the deep male voice. Standing before him was a human. At least he believed it was a human. Honestly, he has never seen a human in his life, only heard stories about the strange two-legged creatures. He was Gab, and primarily black and grey skins, but overall his bare body seemed to be a white color. Black patterns ran all over his face. Upon his forehead laid a red jewel, seemingly encrusted into the skin. "Ah, so it is." Another voice came. This was another male, like the other, but far more smooth, stepping into view. Like the other human, its skin was also white, but it was covered in red and black skins. On top his, at least Scar assumed it was a he, was a crown of sorts, almost like a spiked hood. Unlike the other human, this one's eyes were pure white. Scar felt no intent to strike from either of them, so he dropped his guard. "My, you certainly look like you spent your life in the dark." The fact his voice seemed to surprise the pair indicated they hadn't expected any form of communication. "My, so it indeed talks," the one in green and black said. "But you would do well to show Lord Sunuk the proper respect." Scar had to guess Sunuk was the one in red and black. Such a bold exclamation. provoked a laugh from Scar, cold and mocking. "And who are you to demand respect from me?" Scar asked daringly. Suddenly, something gripped Scar's body, holding him up high. Looking down, he could see he was being gripped by a skeletal hand. Sunuk walked forward, giving a low chuckle. "Show pity to this poor creature, Quan Chi. He's merely a beast whose sole incantation is to feed, bleed, and sleep." Scar struggled to end the bony grip, but could not move a muscle. Who are you?" he breathed. Breathed. I'm sorry, I mispronounced that, but let's move on. Sunuk stopped just a few inches away from the hand. "I am lord of this realm. All those who reside here obey me. They live for me, die for me. Such is their life." Scar felt a sudden rush as he was brought down closer to the earth. Sunuk stared at the lion deeply. "And the same applies to you, demon." "Demon?" Scar repeated. "Why, yes. This is what you have become," Sunuk continued, circling Scar as he spoke. "When I heard tales of a strange lion beast roaming my realm, I had to see it for myself. For you see, when a creature's spirit, beast or otherwise, their form reflects the corruption within their souls. Normally beasts such as yourself merely become spirits, but you become a twisted mockery of your former self." Sunuk came to a stop, eyes focusing upon Scar. "What did you commit to damn yourself such as this?" Scar's face remained firm. He wouldn't show this Sunuk any loss of composure. "I murdered my brother." This provoked a laugh from Sunuk. "Murdering your brother? What could have possessed you to do such a thing?" The answer was simple. "I wanted his throne, nothing more." Sunuk let out a long, drawn-out sigh, but it wasn't one out of aspiration. In fact, he seemed to enjoy the answer. A brother murdering a brother for power. How anticlimactically cliché, but I can relate. I too wanted more power. So the face became one of flaunting. "Once long ago I was a god. My veteran and I ruled watch over countless realms, but I desired more. So I betrayed my fellow gods and sought to claim a realm for myself. And as punishment I was cast down into this hell. And here I have ruled for millennia." "Oh, so I'm addressing a fallen god? Well, your highness, I would certainly grant you a courtesy, but I'm rather constrained at the moment," Scar mocked. Scar felt Sunuk glared at him, but it was hardly one of anger. "What shall we do with him, Lord Sunuk? Should I salvage his soul? Perhaps I can create a relevant that is far more agreeable." Sunuk seemed to ponder those words for a moment, but then, with a neary flick of his wrist, the bony hand subsided into the earth, releasing Scar. "No. We should allow the fallen king to soothe his injured pride," Sunuk said, turning around. Now it was Scar's turn to laugh. "You mock me for my fall, yet you suffer the same fate as I did. I may have lost my potential kingdom, but I am not yet defeated. I am merely biding my time," Sinkon responded. "Is there any chance?" "There is always a chance, and once it presents itself, I shall take it." Turning his head back towards the lion, he added, "Perhaps you might do the same." With that said, Sunuk and Kwai Chi left Scar alone, leaving him in his thoughts. This little meeting has given him such thoughts, yet it did nothing to quell the rage he felt for his nephew. If it took him 100 years, he would find a way out of this realm. Any way he could, regain the power he once held. He just needed a chance. And that's it. Yep, it's only one chapter, unfortunately, because this is actually kind of interesting. There were a few handful of typos here and there, so I had to kind of adjust as I read. I made a few mistakes on my own, so I apologize for that. I like it. 10 out of 10. I just kind of, well, I really wish they would add more to the story. So, NoRatCat, if you ever by some fucking miracle come across this video, I encourage this. I think this is a cool crossover, and this has a lot of potential. So, that being said, thank you so much for dropping by and listening to this. And hopefully I come across some pretty interesting crossovers or whatever interesting stuff that I decide to read. Take care and stay safe. Goodbye.